the first card I ever created when I sat down and I was asked to start creating these surrender cards by Spirit. This was the card that came up. And it's the card, it's time to create the life you want to live. And I cannot think of a better message. It's at the point where I'd been resisting even stepping into doing this work. And I kept being asked to sit down and do the cards. The very first card would be this one. And so when you hear these words, it's time to create the life you want to live, it's quite useful to sit back and say, what is that about? What is it that's provoking that message to come forward for you today? I mean, you are living a life anyway. So the idea that it's time now to start creating a life you want to live really is quite interesting, because then what have you been doing? You know? And I ask the question quite deliberately, because the reality is most of us don't take accountability for this great power we have, that we can actually create the life we want to live. And when we get this card, we actually then have to take accountability. The life we are living, we have participated in creating. Everything that exists in your life, the way it is, you have participated in creating it. Now, I'm the first one to know that things happen to us that we didn't see coming, and life is not full of all these fair principles. But the awareness that some patterns have existed in your life for a very long time. And this is a relationship of how you're showing up to your life. And what you are participating in, what you are feeding, what you are colluding with, what you are co-authoring, this creates the experience of your life. And so when you get this card, it's an opportunity for two things to happen. One, to pay attention on how are you currently participating in the life you are living. And if there are things that you are loving about your current life, how do you continue to create more of that? And if there are things that are not going the way you want them to go in your life, how do you take accountability for what it is that you possibly may need to change? Not with any sort of self-persecution, not with any sort of self-blame, that is not useful, but more in the essence of like, oh, if I can create this, I can create that. Yeah. Whatever you can do, you're doing it anyway. I love this idea of, so many spiritual teachers say you must become a manifester. You are a manifester. It's not something you have to do. You are manifesting anyway. Every minute of every day we're manifesting the life we're living. If it's not what you want, then what do you need to change? The second thing is, this really does provoke the question of, what do you want? Most of us are living in the illusion of surviving life. Like, we must just deal with it. We must just get through it. But if you can create a life you want to live, then you need to take accountability for life. And you need to take accountability for, what do you desire? What do you want? What do you wish for? And some of the readings that come forward is the idea of breaking up with the impossible and starting to truly live in what moves you. What is it that you feel called to experience? And so this idea of, what do I want? What do I desire? And not the question, what do I deserve? Because Spirit do not understand this question of deservability or not deservability. That implies you have to do something to be rewarded. This is purely about what you want. In the course I run, working with the law of abundance, healing your relationship with money, we talk about a principle of place your order. If you phone a pizza place, you don't go like, I don't want this, I don't want that, like I don't want a pepperoni, I don't want a wine, I don't want this. We phone and we say, I want this. I want a thin base, I want extra cheese, I want onion, please. And so it gets delivered because you asked for it. So what do you want? If your life is essentially this blank canvas that you get to paint the story of your life on it, then what story would you want to paint? How do you want to proceed with this? So the exercise I have for you is twofold. Firstly, take a snapshot of your life, and you can do an exercise called the Wheel of Life. We can attach one to the notes here, and you can download that and have a look at, which areas of my life am I at peace with, am I satisfied with? And so what am I doing to create that? Because good job, because you're doing that. And then which areas of my life am I not at peace with, not satisfied with? And then with the same level of comfort and compassion with yourself, what can I own that I am doing to participate in creating that? And how can I shift it? And you may not always know the answers to that, and that's why we have other people in the world that may be better at doing some things than you are. And you can steal like an artist. You can learn from other people. So what do you need to learn to do differently so that you can create the life you want to live? Please remember, there is no need for any of us to be suffering. Spirit always says, pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. So how do we release the need to struggle and to suffer through life? Here's to your abundance and your joy. Sending you lots of love. Namaste.
Get your very own deck of I Am Lightwalker cards straight from Taryn by visiting IamLightwalker.com/cards.